What's up, guys? It's Trey Lowell, and today I really just want to cover three quick topics, and that is going to be some of the hot tech, some of the new tech out there that I'm personally keeping my eye on. Maybe you should be keeping an eye on. Then I also want to talk about some of the channels here on YouTube and maybe even Instagram, Facebook that I look to for inspiration. And then lastly, I actually want to give you guys an insight to some of the content that I'm creating with my full-time job, and then some of the content that you're going to see here in the near future here on my YouTube channel coming up next. So let's first start off with tech and some of the tech that I am actually currently keeping my eyes on. And one thing that I constantly keep hearing about, actually it's two things, two cameras in particular, is going to be the GH5s and the Sony A7riii. Now, the reason that I bring up both of those cameras is that full-time, at my full-time employer, I happen to shoot on two Sony A7S IIs, and I absolutely love them. So full frame, high ISOs, image stabilization, just incredible cameras, 4K, the whole shebang. But then on the other hand, I happen to own a GH4. So all these YouTube videos, the video that you're currently watching is all shot on a GH4. So let's address the GH5s first. And the reason that I say that is because that's most likely the camera that I would be the most familiar with, because I just personally own the GH4. So for the mirrorless camera, why is this a big deal and why is it different between the GH5? Well, simply put, they are definitely two different cameras and they're going to be used for two different purposes, but that's kind of going to be hard for most consumers to understand. So in a nutshell, just like last year when Sony came out with the A7S II R and then the A7S IIs, basically you had the video model, which was going to be the S, and then you had the R, which was going to be for more photography. So what we have here though, and what is different for Panasonic, is they have released what I would consider a cinematic, a movie style camera, which would be the GH5s, people that are really into cinematography. And then you've got the GH5, which is probably going to be more catered towards YouTubers, people that are going to be running and gunning, people that are not going to be in as many controlled situations. So what the hell does all that mean? Well, in a nutshell, it means you've got several decisions between these two cameras. Do you want a camera that you're going to be able to take in any environment and get nice video quality and get stabilization? Then you probably want the GH5, excuse me. But if you want something that is a full-fledged film camera and also is going to be amazing in low light situations, the GH5s is going to be what you're going to probably want. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the Sony A7riii. I really don't know much about this camera. I haven't watched a lot of reviews on it, but I'm looking here on B&H and it comes in at $3,100, which is going to be pretty pricey for most of you guys out there. So that being said, it's Sony. It's definitely going to have amazing video. It's full frame. I'm sure the image stabilization is amazing, and the autofocus as well is going to be awesome. So, I mean, really, what does it come down to with these different cameras? Well, it comes down to a couple things, and really, is it going to be, do you want mirrorless, the Micro Four Thirds, which would be the GH5 or the GH5s, or do you want a full frame camera? And honestly, you know, I just love both cameras. And so those are the quick tech items that I have been keeping my eye on recently, and maybe you should too. Yes, they're very pricey, but as these roll out, what does that mean? That means a GH4 gets cheaper. That means a GH5 probably gets a little bit cheaper. It means a Sony A7S II gets cheaper. So hey, there is nothing wrong with going out and maybe buying an older model. And if you're new to this kind of stuff, some of these cameras I'm even addressing, you probably won't even be able to use it to its full potential. So starting with the GH4 or a Sony A7S, the first model, or even an A7S II, you're still going to have incredible footage. So that leads me to my next segment, and that is who do I look to for inspiration? And I tend to spend most of my time watching YouTube creators because that is the community that I tend to follow the most and have the most appreciation for, because I genuinely believe these are creators. These are not Facebook people just making videos with text all over them. These are people that are taking time. And also there's a lot of personalities on YouTube, and I tend to love that aspect of YouTube. So let's go ahead and jump into some of the creators that I tend to watch. And I'm just going to start out with my favorites. And as I do more of these videos, I'll kind of, do the domino effect, and I'll go down to the ones that I don't watch as often, but definitely look to and love when I get notifications that they have new content. But the number one video creator that I look to constantly is going to be a guy by the name of Peter Mckinnon. He is a cinematographer, he's a videographer, he's a photographer, a jack of all trades. But overall, I absolutely love Peter's creativeness. Every video is just awesome, and he would definitely be one of those guys that I look to for inspiration. So Peter Mckinnon, go over to his channel. I'll put a link up here in the corner so you can go check out his channel. Heck, if you happen to hear of me, you've probably already heard of Peter Mckinnon, but he is the guy that I look to for a lot of creative inspiration, because I feel like he and the way he shoots is the way that I like to shoot, or I would like to shoot. So that is the segment on the creator of the day that I am keeping an eye out for. And then the last segment, we're going to move to what in the world am I personally working on? What in the world am I currently working on? Well, recently I just got done doing what I would consider a mini doc that was on Venezuela. It's going to be coming out here in the near future. I also did a quick interview with a guy that is a libertarian. His name is Nick Freitas in Virginia. And you know what? It was great. It's just one of those situations where I get to just film an interview. I get to use 3 cameras, and we get to kind of work with, 2 talents, and it's just quick and easy. Lighting, it's fun. It's easy. It keeps my skills honed. And then what in the world am I up to on my personal channel? And what can you guys probably see coming down the line? Well, as you guys can tell, maybe if you haven't seen this style of video, this is a new video format that I have come up with. So just a video cast. And what am I looking to do? Well, here in the near future, I just recently got a brand new LED bendable drawcast panel that I've got a review coming out on soon. Also, I did some filming with my Wowgo electric skateboard, and I put some Bones red bearings on it. So that'll be a video that I'll be dropping here in the near future. And then I'm also going to do some tutorial videos. I really want to explain log versus sending like D versus just shooting standard, and what are the upsides of why you'd want to film that way. Very similar to why you want to film flat with a GoPro rather than just going with the audio the auto settings. Other things that I have is I've got a wedding video. It was an Indian wedding. It was absolutely amazing, and I'm super excited to share that with you guys here, probably come the end of the week. I don't get to shoot a lot of weddings, and it's just a different style of video. I get to experiment. I haven't shot one in probably 4 or 5 months, and this was the first time I got to kind of break out the GH4, nice glass. I got to use the stabilizer and the Canon 5D Mark III. So that is just a quick glance at what I am up to. And hey guys, it's Trey Lowell with Lowell Productions, and if you like this style of video or you like the content that I'm creating, go ahead and hit that like button. Hey, if you want, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always guys, I'll see you in the next video.